Alright, hello everyone. I am here because I have discovered some new stuff about the creature creator in the game Adapt. So as you can see, this is one of the creatures that I've created so far. And let's create a new one. So let's say you know, it actually doesn't even matter. I can just roll with this guy. So with creature creator, you can obviously create your creature, but there are different ways to create them. As you can see, there are things right here on this list: agility, claws, webbing, and all that other good stuff. So what all of this is, I found out, are adaptations that you can add on to creature parts, which is very new. I just found that out like last night, so that's pretty crazy to me because I was wondering for the longest time how to get a shell or a sail on your back, and I found out it's one of these adaptations right here. So I'll just show you real quick. A shell would be looking like that. A sail would be looking like that. And heck, if you want to get real crazy with it, you can have both. So that's how you can apply adaptations, and of course you can remove them. The main problem with the whole adaptation thing is when you apply an adaptation and you were to move on to the next column, like let's say sensory right here. And like we're having fun, yada yada yada. We new eyes, cool. Now let's say I wanted to change the sail to a shell. So I'm going to go back to body, and for some reason I can't click off the sail. I'm not sure why this is, and I can't really replace it, but it seems like there's a bug that whenever you go to click on an already established adaptation of some sort and you click away from it and then you go back, it for some reason it removes the option to take the adaptation off. Again, I'm not sure what exactly triggers it, and I haven't really found a good workaround to fixing that. There is one way of doing it for some specific body parts, like the feet. So let's say I wanted agility at first, and then I go around, you know, editing whatever, and then I go back to the legs. I can't do the agility anymore, so instead let's just remove them, and let's put the legs back on. So that gets rid of the adaptations and keeps the legs that I want, but that doesn't really help with the body or the neck or the face. And the reason why that won't work for these body parts specifically is because for whatever reason in this game, the all of those options of the bodies and the tails and stuff, it's all in one section where you can't remove any of that. So that's kind of a bummer, but yeah, I don't really have a workaround for any temporary adaptations that you didn't want. So the best I can tell you is to restart your character. So you could go into one of these and keep hitting create, and it'll just randomize them, and it should get rid of the adaptation as shown here because I don't have a sail on the body anymore. So that's a real bummer. But you know, it's not that big of a deal if you don't really mind creating your character again. As the game stands right now, there's not very many options or things to customize your creature, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, let's say, you know what, let me create a creature real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got our little creature going on here. Didn't take me too long to create him. I'd say about a good 3 minutes. But, so yeah, we got our creature, and let's say you want to put some adaptations on him now. Let's say we want him to run faster on land. So we're going to take the thrust, because as you see here, it will increase the speed on land and reduces the amount of stamina that is used, or no, increases the amount of stamina that is used, excuse me, for this creature when I put this adaptation on him. Now, when it says the minus DNA, that is what this is. So this little DNA strand with the number 4, that is the pretty much the point total that we have for creating this creature. So once this hits 0, we can no longer create or edit our creature anymore, unless we were to get rid of an adaptation or get rid of a body part that we don't want or don't feel like we need. So we definitely have to be mindful of that. I really hope at some point they the creator of this game will increase the amount of DNA that could either be added, increased, used, whatever. Like, what I mean by that is if there is a way to earn more DNA, like through interactions with other creatures, deem it be battling creatures or socializing with creatures and all that other stuff. And right now, the whole interaction with other creatures is still in like alpha. This whole game is still in alpha, so I don't really see any of that DNA rewards. I don't see DNA rewards being a thing anytime soon. But yeah, I just a little note for the future of the game. I really hope that they do somehow have the ability to increase the amount of DNA you earn, let alone unlock body parts, which in some menus, like here with the external ears, they have these little locks on them, and right now you can't unlock them in any way. They're pretty much just previews to what is going to be added into the next update, which is actually pretty soon. It's coming out pretty soon, from what I've seen, because on the roadmap, the dev seems to be pretty fast with the editing everything and whatnot. And just, I want to say 2 days ago, he edited the shaders for the game and just like the overall quality of it, I want to say. But yeah. So anyways, back to adaptations. Let's say we want... Oh, right. We want to put thrust on this guy. So we take this, we click and hold on the adaptation that we want, when we drag it over to any of the 2 boxes here. Now, again, like I touched on earlier, you can't take off the adaptation when you click out of the tab. So again, let's say I wanted to put an adaptation on another part of his body. We'll go to Frill, that goes to a different tab, and then let's say we did whatever we wanted here, we go back to his legs, and we can't take the adaptation off. Again, I'm not sure if this was intentional or if this was a bug, but the only way around this is by removing the legs or just creating a whole new creature. Now, you know how to change adaptations, and you can actually even swap them out. So, like, let's say I got, we'll do Armored Frill, and yes, some of the adaptations do actually change the way body parts look, like this. Like before and after Got that little Triceratops crest going on there, and it even shows up in the shop. They call it the part shop. I don't know why. Well, I mean, you're spending DNA, so I guess that's why. But let's say I want shifting teeth and armored frill. I can replace shifting teeth with sharpened teeth instead. So now he eats not only plants but also meat, which is how you can create omnivores. And speaking of omnivores, you can actually use the mouth parts to create different diets for your creatures. Like when I first started playing this game, I wasn't sure how exactly to be able to eat fish, because I noticed that fish had their own column and if you like their own category, and if you eat them without having that specific category being edible to your creature, you will vomit and lose not only HP but stomach contents, so you'll go hungry faster. So in order to eat fish and such, you need the shifting teeth. So now, okay, well that's a little irritating. Well, whenever your diet changes, the area around your creature and the creature creator will change as well. So when I put on the shifting teeth, or the sifting teeth, excuse me, I would have expected fish to spawn in this area, but for some reason it hasn't. But if you noticed, when I put the sharpened teeth on, the sharp teeth, there are little drumsticks that spawned right next to my nest. So that goes to show you what your creature's diet will be once you're done with creating your creature. So I just take all that off, and let's say I want to eat bugs. Now, originally, before I found out these adaptations, I would put on the mandible like this, and I'd always have it right here. So my thing would eat plants and insects, which is not bad. Definitely want a diverse appetite, easier for survival, but now you don't have to. In fact, with these mandibles, it actually costs a lot more than if you were to just put in an adaptation. So these mandibles cost 2 DNA, and you can always see they don't tell you the price, but you can always use basic math to find out which one costs more. Adaptations usually cost 1, because those are like the only things in the creature shop that's actually like gives you the currency or the amount of DNA that is used. I don't know why parts aren't. I guess because every part is just it uses 2 DNA, I guess. So I guess they didn't think they needed to specify, which is fine, but definitely when they start adding in more parts and getting more expensive parts and stuff, that's definitely something that I hope they at least look into. But yeah, so that was the new thing that I found in this game, and I wanted to share it with everyone because I actually did look at the Discord for this game, and I've found quite a few people wondering how to eat specific things, how to give creatures like shells on their backs and sails, and how to make their creature better without, you know, putting on a whole bunch of different parts that they don't really want on their creature. It was a lot of it was a lot of people just asking the basic questions, and in fact I was one of those people that was confused as how this adaptation worked. And obviously they have your little tutorial right here, which would tell you the basic stuff like your abilities, coloration, species library, and see, they even call the part shop in the tutorial. And it even tells you about adaptations right here. You can customize genes by purchasing up to 2 adaptations. So I'm guessing the differences between genes and adaptations is this is an adaptation right here, and then these are like different genes, like the parts that you can put on your creature. And another thing that I did notice too is that you can't put parts on your tail your legs or your, well, any appendages that are not your mouth or body. So like, let's say I want to put a funny looking spike on my knees. I won't be able to do that. It doesn't register it. Now, on the body, it registers fine. On the head, it's fine. But if I were to do it on the legs, it just phases through. Same with the tail. There's no customization with these parts of the body, and I'm assuming it's because the way Unity is set up, they have the these different segments as a type of entity that connects to things but cannot be connected, if that makes sense. Like, they can be connected to the main portions that was established, but I guess there's something in the coding that prevents these specific parts from being from having items and such on the parts. Now, in games like Spore, you could definitely, you know, add stuff to the legs, the tail. You know, there is pretty much optimal customization. In this game, not so much. But I mean, for what's worth, this game came out. Well, it hasn't been come out. It hasn't came out since the start of this year, but it has been in development for this whole year, pretty much. And it came out, I want to say, somewhere around June. This is still in the alpha stage, and for only having one developer, I'd say this game is pretty good for the most part, from what I've seen. Oh, and for anyone who's wondering, these locks do not unlock at any point in time. This is just for future reference as to what will be added later on. Like, I can change the size, and that will change the annual offspring, the if I can speak, habitability of the creature, and I'm assuming it will also affect these 3 variables later. Alright, well, I think that's about it for the creature creator of this game. I hope everyone has a great day, and I shall see you later.